Hello there, everyone. A very good morning to you all. Welcome to the FSL Wild Rift Open 3 League of Legends. Wild Rift, yeah. It's Kim Artis, and I'm joined here by Tanya May. We're going to be your casters for today.
Yeah, and we're already in Open 3. The last time we sat here, we were looking at Open 2, where I think that was like quite a few patches ago. So I'm
Mhm.
actually quite excited here because we have a brand new patch. I think it was about 1 to 2 weeks ago that it just dropped. We have a new champions like Akshad
Yeah.
and brand new items to the game.
Yeah, that's right. Brand new items that are going to help out AD carries a lot, and you can see the effects of that. You can see the effects of that, especially on this champion called Lucian, who has been quite prominent throughout the pro scene as well as in this tournament too. Lucian was picked or banned nearly about 75 or 80% of the time in the group stages yesterday.
And he's also like not just the champion itself, right? You talk about mobility. Yes, he's great. He can zoom around with his third ability. But it's really about the items. This Essence Reaver just empowered so many of these AD carries, including Lucian, especially Lucian. And the
Yeah.
next item that they built after that is usually the Solari Charge Blade, which is unique to WoW Rift. I thought that was a really nice touch by Riot to add in items that are unique to the game, which also opens up a lot more build paths.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can really, as I said, see the effects of that. We're going to be seeing a lot more of the AD carries as well. Of course, Corki is very strong as well. But now, let's talk a little bit about the format as well, because this Open 3 has a different format from the previous Opens. So previously, there was only 2 days of tournament. Now there are 4 days. So the day before and yesterday, we had the group stages where the top two teams from each group would then advance into the round of 16, which we would be starting off with today. So these teams right now have already been off 2 days of competition. So they've all played about at least 4 to 5 games. So definitely, they're all warmed up and all ready for the action today.
Yeah, it gives them some time to also figure out the meta because even though we're on patch 2.4, it's been what 1 to 2 weeks, and
Mhm.
we've also seen some of the pro scene, play on this patch from the Icon series to the Origin series in Europe, and yet they're miles apart, right? The way that the
Yeah.
pros are even reading this patch is very different. In Europe, you see a lot of Senna, which is the alongside Lucian came about, introduced to the game. But then on the side of Philippines, it looks like they are tossing things up. Sometimes you see Team Secret first pick Galio because teams also tend to play towards
Mhm.
their like the team composition that they want to do. Sometimes they prefer the big team fights, and we may not necessarily see all these top tier picks on patch 2.4. So it's interesting to see how the meta is going to evolve here at Wild Rift Open 3. The teams already had some time to dish it out with each other in those group
Yeah.
stages. I think as the playoffs go, we might see more refined strategies coming about.
Yep, that's right. That's really the exciting part about it all, because they've had a chance to kind of see or get a rough idea of what each other are good at and what they're not so good at. So you can see teams start to adapt and try to outsmart their opponents, especially in terms of the draft, because the draft is very important in these kind of games right now. Because you could pick up some S tier picks like Lucian, or you could give it to your opponent and try to pick something that would counter it. Although I haven't personally, have not seen too much success with that strategy right now. I think Lucian is pretty good, I would say.
Yeah, he has little to no, like he doesn't his whole kit, right? You don't really think of Lucian and you think of a counter, unlike other champions where if you throw out their name, immediately a counter comes to mind. But for Lucian, he's flexible. He can go to a solo lane. He can also go to dragon lane. So he just brings so much to the table at this point in time.
Yeah, exactly. It's also the really excellent thing there, the ability to, as I say, adapt, right? Where you can pick the Lucian first, and then you see, oh look, they picked something that doesn't look so good for it in the Baron lane. So okay, it's not going to Baron lane. Maybe it won't go to mid either, and then you just send it down to bot. Or if it looks better in the mid lane, you can pick something else in bot lane, and that's just how really versatile a champion is.
And not to mention also because Lucian is part of the whole 2.4 empowered ADC patch, a lot of teams are actually drafting triple AD carries. So you have your I don't know if you can call it like a trinity of top tier AD carries, your Lucian, your Corki, and Graves. Because they can also be flex, right? Corki and Lucian, they can go either Dragon lane or in their solo lane. And Graves can go to the jungle, or he can go to Baron lane. So there's just so much to play with. And interestingly, teams in the pro scene have been very successful on this 380 carry comp. So it really
Yeah.
speaks about how strong these items are. And even though the enemy teams or the opposing teams have tried to come up with tanks, they draft Gale, they draft some frontline for themselves to try and absorb all this damage, and still these 80 carries come out on top.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about actually is that though Lucian and Corki have had a lot of prominence in the group stages, Graves does not share that same level, at least in the tournament so far. He's only been picked in 5 games, and in 4 of those games, unfortunately, he lost, so he's only had a 20% win rate so far. So I'm interested to see if they're going to have some pick up, if any teams are going to actually pick up this champion over the next 2 days, or if they're just going to sideline it for now.
Yeah, for sure. So far, the group stage, he hasn't had much presence. However, it seems like the teams are favoring other meta champions in other lanes. So Fiora, Camille, Akali still up there. The last time we sat in these chairs and talked about it in War Rift Open 2, nothing has really changed about these champions. Akali didn't really get nerfed or touched. So still up there. Camille as well again. And Fiora, both of them can be flexed in the jungle as well as the Baron lane. So teams still seem to be, falling back to champions that they are familiar with, they know how to play. And of course, if you swap that out for Graves, it's quite hard to adapt. And maybe teams are just not comfortable yet playing out this champion.
Yeah, that's right. We see the same kind of comfort in the jungle as well. We see prominence of Gragas, we see prominence of Jarvan as well, and Vi. 3 of these champions have really made a mark in the previous Wild Rift Open, where we saw them very frequently. Well, you're likely going to see them a lot as well today.
And moving to the mid lane, I think that's where it gets interesting because Ziggs has been pretty much banned out by a lot of these teams. If Ziggs is not banned, the teams have actually been picking him. So, I mean, Ziggs, he got very slightly nerfed on patch 2.4, where the satchel damage was decreased to towers. But I mean, satchel is not what makes Ziggs being picked right now, right? It's really his first ability, his ultimate, his poke, and just the burst raw damage from him. So I think Ziggs is definitely going to be either banned or picked in every single one of these games.
That's right, and we talk about how you can flex Lucian to the mid lane. Ziggs can be flexed down to the Dragon lane as well, so you can just pick Lucian, pick Ziggs, and you can kind of bamboozle your opponents. They won't be really sure of where you're going, and that would mean that you really just have that informational advantage over them. And when it really, the question is, do you ban, who do you even ban? There's so many champions, of course, that you want to ban. Do you ban out the solo lanes and risk leaving the Lucian open? Do you ban out the Lucian and perhaps allow your opponents to pick the Akali or the Camille or something? There are just really a lot of these cards on the table, and we're going to see which teams decide to pick which cards up and which cards they just leave on the table.
Absolutely. And as we move down to the lanes, nothing much has changed in the AD carry role besides that some of them has been more prominent. I think the main thing is that Senna has to be played as a starving support, right? She's not really as good as a farming AD carry, so don't really expect her to see that in that role. Varus as well was quite a hot pick in the last time that we were here in War Rift Open 2. But teams have been, not really picking him as much, even though nothing much has changed about him because the items did not favor him on patch 2.4.
Yeah, definitely. Varus is definitely less prominent now that there are these more crit heavy AD carries that have started to show up. Of course, we do want to talk a bit about the prize pool as well before we get into the games today. Whoever wins this tournament will be able to get themselves some very, very sweet cash as well as Wild Rift cores. They're going to be able to get $250 and 5,000 Wild Rift cores per team. Second place will get $125 and 3,000 Wild Rift cores per team. In third place, they will get $75 and 1,500 Wild Rift calls per team, and in fourth they will get $50. Of course, FSL Wild Rift Open 3 is sponsored by Intel and supported by Yahoo as well. We're into the pick bands. Oh wow.
Yeah, that was pretty fast. So we have Riven, Akali, Ari banned on the side of Ardent, and Olaf, Gregor's and Lucian banned on the side of Lorem. So immediately Lucian is off the table. And interestingly, we talked about Ziggs, but it looks like teams are just going to ignore him in this particular game. Instead, they pick up really strong meta-heavy champions like Corki, Camille, as well as Nami, which we didn't get to talk about too much, but she is by far the #1 S tier support right now on patch 2.4.
That's right, see Janna really falling out of favor, kind of, and Nami rising to prominence with all these AD carries synergizes very well with the prominent AD carries right now, Lucian as well as Corki, and I think this Corki and Nami bot lane right now is going to be very scary. Of course, on the other side, you do have the Braum as well to kind of block out that damage, but just because of the far range that exists right now on the side of Ardent, well, things will not be very easy for this Kai'Sa to farm up for now.
Yeah, the goal of Braum here is really to try and block out that Nami ultimate. But of course, he has a lot of other things to block if you think about Corki throwing out all those bombs at him. So we're gonna have to see whether Braum manages to do that and pull out a counter move to the Nami ultimate.
Yeah, we see a bit of an invade actually happening right now. Lorem Ipsum gonna be walking into the jungle of Ardent right now. They are spotted out by the Camille, who interestingly is in the bot lane. She's gonna place down a ward. It's gonna be taken away, but Lorem Ipsum have been found. Are they gonna do anything about it? That's the question. Ardent, oh no, the Renekton walking straight up there. That might just be first blood. Uses counter to try to keep himself alive, but the flashing forward there. Oh, Rengar flashing really deep. Kai'Sa picking up the first blood, but Rengar staying alive. Galio has arrived as well, but Ardent were caught off guard by that, despite the fact that they had this information, and Lorem Ipsum pick up first blood.
Oh, Rinoa, I'm not sure why she walked back in there. It was full information on the side of ART. It was already really sneaky of Camille to be able to do that. But right now, it's like just gonna settle down for a little bit. And everyone's just gonna try and reset what you see here. Rinoa already packing a punch, but taking up that tower shot.
Yeah, a little bit of a mistake there. They're just gonna grab that honey fruit and kind of reset the lane. But a lot of early aggression, as you said, from the side of Lorem Ipsum there with that invade, catching out the Renekton there, really off guard. I think maybe Rinoa walked down to try to scout out what was happening, but really paid the price for it with her life.
There was really no need to. I mean, they could have just gone to the other side of the jungle or try and put down some wards on the cross map to see where Lorem Ipsum's jungle will start. But nonetheless, still a lot of trading going on. Maybe we're just gonna rack it up to nerves, right? Maybe it's the first game of the day. Teams are still settling in, so a little bit of micro mistakes we see here and there.
Ooh, Fiora actually not making the early recall there. Camille did walk up and spend some time in the top lane. Wasn't really spotted out by any wards, so no one really knew that she spent some time there. But looking at both junglers right now, they are in the top side of the jungle. Rengar gonna be finishing up their red buff and nearly hitting level 5. You need to keep an eye out for those ultimate enhanced ganks, which will be starting to happen pretty soon.
I think Galio's in a pretty good position. If you look at the items here, Rod of Ages is on the way already, and he's just hit level 5. So we expect some cross-map plays maybe to start happening. Of course, TF is picked there just to match him. So it's about who's really going to step on the pedal first and get those snowballs going.
Yeah, for now it looks like Twisted Fate is the one who's able to clear out the waves faster than the Galio. So he would likely be able to make the first move. The question though is, where do you teleport? Do you teleport into the bot lane and risk getting bubbled and tidal wave? Or do you teleport to the top lane where Renekton can easily slice and dice away from you?
Yeah, that's it. It really is on the side of Lorem Ipsum to step on the pedal. It is their turn to turn up the tempo because if you look at their team composition, oops, cards just going a little bit wide there. You look at the team composition, it's really single target heavy. I mean, the moment that you have a TF in your mix, you gotta look at the burst damage that's gonna come out from his gold card, as well as pairing that with Rengar, right? The burst damage for these two in a 2v2 is pretty high. And in a team fight, they are the ones who will be peeling back from this Camille Galio combo. So looks like Dragon is coming up and they have the better position here. So you're just gonna trade it across the map, Herald for that first Infernal Dragon.
Yeah, they're gonna do a little bit of trading right now, Twisted Fate using the ultimate as well, and just to, I guess, kind of scare his opponents. Very risky stuff there. Minaka taking about half of her health in damage. Ardent are gonna be the ones picking up that Rift Herald and forcing the Corki to use his package as well.
A little bit unnecessary to hook your hit there. Looks like both teams tend to do that a lot.
Ooh, Rengar landed that root right now. The dive has begun, but Rengar being the first one to fall. Maybe they have overcommitted on this one. Never mind. Forget that. Kaisa dashing into Twisted Fate as well. That's going to be Lorem picking up 2 kills for 1. But meanwhile, in the top lane there, Camille and Renekton have managed to pick up the first turret.
That was a great play by Lorem Ipsum.
Oh,
this is exactly what we were talking about.
Collapse happening right now. Camille just jumping straight in onto the Kaisa, gonna delete her health bar, and the rest of Lorem Ipsum are in shambles. Maybe Ardent have dived a bit too far forward there. Lois is gonna tank out one more auto attack and does go down to the Twisted Fate.
Well, just as I praised them, you know, they kind of overstayed in mid. They were quite desperate for that mid tower. But they recognize, right? The thing about Lorem Ipsum is that they recognize that Ardent had quite a few members on the top side of the map, which is why they saw that they could have dived the mid lane. Almost got the tower, but it was still not too bad. They're still in a gold lead, about 1,000 gold. And they also have that dragon stacking going for them. So I think right now both teams just gotta reset that. Of course, Lorem still eyeing that mid lane tower. You see the pings going down. It's really going to be up to TF to clear out these waves, but Ardent committing 3 members here in a 1v1.
Yeah, they're going to be looking to keep this mid lane pushed in with this Nami and Corki duo. Of course, we're going to talk about the goal. Even though the leads are small right now for Lorem Ipsum, they are on the correct people. You can see that Kaisa has about 1,000 gold up on the Corki. That's a very welcome sign, but what's not a welcome sign is this poor Galio right here, who's just gonna be taken out by that 4-man goon squad. Lorem Ipsum are gonna be able to secure this bot lane turret.
Yeah, a little bit strange map, a late assignment, I would say. Galio could have just stayed mid and waved it against TF,
Yep.
but
There's a collapse happening
watch
right now.
out.
Ardent, they pick up the turret, but at what cost? Renekton getting dived upon, is gonna get stunned up and caught out in the middle of the enemy team. Gonna be the first one to fall. How much more can Lorem Ipsum find? Another stun card lands onto the Corki. That's gonna be Galio coming in right there from the base to take out the Fiora, and at this moment Lorem Ipsum have to retreat.
So that's really what we want to see more from Ardent. We saw that Camille Galio combo. I almost said Camille again because that's what we called it last time. But yeah, we want to see more of that. And the way that they assigned the lanes just now was not very good. Like, they put Galio in bot lane, which is why Lorem Ipsum was like, hey, why is your Galio in bot? Like, there's no way he can rotate there. Nothing's happening. You kind of need him in the middle of the map so that he can have an impact elsewhere. But that's it, you know, that's really what we want to see more from Ardent from, because right now it feels like they're not controlling the game, right? The tempo seems to be in Lorem Ipsum's favor. They seem to be responding on the side of Ardent more than making any proactive moves with this wombo combo team combo.
Yeah, I always see that Lorem are the ones who tend to make that first collapse, and they are getting the benefits of that right now. Twisted Fate with 2 items already, also building a goal lead over her lane opponent. Does have that Rod of Ages as well as that Lich Bane. You can see the dragon is coming up in 10 seconds. Corki did grab that package. Might see a fight over this one.
Looks like both teams just got a position here. Fiora is committing on the top side, and Renekton is gonna match her, but Ardent again giving up that position, even though they do have a ward in Dragon.
Yep, the 1v1 in the top lane though, Rinoa, right, just falling to this pool party. Fiora may be able to slice and dice out of this one there. The turret is gonna be able to keep her alive, and Noxkin's looking very scary right now in the top lane.
It's really hard at this point in the game for Renekton to match up at that Fiora. He kind of got countered during the draft phase, but nonetheless, Renekton still can make a splash in these team fights. And again, this is really what we want to see from Ardent, but looks like they are going to give up position on this dragon, and I don't think they can contest this.
Yeah, Twisted Fate ultimate has been popped as well, just to spot Ardent out. Lorem Ipsum are going to pick up that second dragon for themselves, and they're going to continue building that lead.
So if Ardent, knowing that they can't really send anyone to 1v1 that Fiora, they really need to group together and find the picks. They do have stuns, right? They have stuns from Renekton, they have Bubble from Nami, they have AoEs, they have mobile combo from Gamil from Gamil, right? I'm just gonna call it Gamil now. But they have all these tools, but they're not using it. They're just responding to what Lorem is doing, and Lorem can just play out this 1-3-1 or 1-4 if you want to, because Fiora is a beast right now. You look at that. Triforce is completed. She even has Executioner's Calling to just reduce the amount of healing from the side of Ardent. I don't know, man. I really want to see something more from Ardent. They need to do something.
That's right, Baron is alive, and that could be a place where Ardent might try to set up a death push or something. They do have a pretty decent amount of crowd control on their end as well, but it looks like they're the ones who are getting caught out right there. Flash being blown there by Ja on the Galio to just have to get away from Lorem Ipsum, who have full control over the river at this point.
The goal lead is about 5,000, and I think it is reflective of the items here. Lorem is around 2 items compared to 1.5 on the side of Ardent. Still, there is still huge team fighting potential from Ardent, and Baron is on the board. Lorem is already moving there, trying to secure some vision, maybe get a pick.
Yeah, this is the place just now where the Galio had to flash, and this time they end up using a tidal wave to disengage as well. Back in
It's
the
kind
bot
of
lane.
unnecessary.
Yeah, it was, unfortunately, but I don't know, like you say, Ardent are just always trying to respond instead of making the first move, and they are kind of playing their cards when it's not too necessary.
Well, Nami ultimate use, but I think it's gonna come out soon anyway. Nothing much lost from that. But Lorem Ipsum just try to push in these waves, trying to get priority here in order to open up the top side of the map. It is quite hard for them to down this mid tower, right? As long as Ardent puts Galio here, they do still have the wave clear going for them. So even though they can't respond to the Fiora, they do have wave clear on the other sides of the map. So how are they going to use this? Can they teleport behind enemy lines? Can Camille and Galio find that opportunity? And Nami needs to maybe stop using that tidal wave to disengage, but rather for engage.
That's right. Lorem have once again been the first one to the Baron. They're gonna take it down to about 3,000. It's not even spotted out just yet. Camille is being zoned by the Twisted Fate. Before you know it, Baron is gonna be going down. Camille trying to very best to flash in, but does not get it. That's gonna be red team with the Baron. But are they gonna lose anything for that one? Ardent are trying to re-engage right now. They've caught out that Twisted Fate. It's gonna take him out. Corki so far putting out a lot of damage, getting those shutdowns, and just like this, Lorem, they got the Baron, but they're gonna lose 2, maybe even 3 people. Nami gonna flash forward with the ebb and flow parried, but it doesn't matter because Nami is on the board as well. And Ardent, finally, their response is adequate. They take 3 members of Lorem down.
That was so good. That's really exactly what we wanted to see from them for the past, 10 minutes? But finally, here on the 12th minute, Ardent decide, okay, Corki's online. He went back, immediately bought SS River, Triforce. I mean, this Corki is going to be huge in this late game, and Lorem needs to watch out. Nami as well completing that stuff of flowing water is just going to make them even more elusive in these team fights. It's going to empower the movement speeds and give her teammates a little bit more AP as well as ability haste. So Ardent not out of the game just yet. They just need a few more of these engages if they want to take the win.
Definitely, but for now, Lorem still have Baron on 2 of their members. They're still going to be able to push in these waves. The Cloud Dragon is up, and Ardent do have the package on their Corki. The question really is, are they going to contest this one? But for now, Lorem are trying to use that Baron to push in the mid lane.
Yeah, Lorem is back to their 1-3-1 strategy because they still have Baron, even though they lost that team fight. But it is still on, I believe, Brom and Twisted Fate right here. So pressuring this mid lane, and Ardent, they have their ultimates. It looks like they are still going to be a little bit more defensive. Still not sure what they're trying to do. They need to be the ones making the first move, and they can't just end up punishing Lorem at objectives. And
Yeah,
we see
right now-
them here struggle.
Yeah, it looks like the pattern is...
Huh?
Yeah, well, that's a little odd, but yeah, as I was saying, the pattern right now is that Lorem will take a chunk out of their tower, they will walk forward and try to respond, but they will already have lost the majority of the turret's health, and then the cycle will just repeat, and then that's how the mid lane turret just went down there.
Yeah, I don't know why Nami used the ultimate right there, but looks like Lorem just gotta pick up yet another objective. So I'm not sure what Ardent is waiting for, because from that last team fight, we see here Corki. Oh my goodness, 3 items:
Yeah.
Solari, Essence, and Triforce. I mean, massive. Like, Corki is extremely massive, and they really need to play around him. They need to be able to team fight and set him up instead of trying to match Lorem in a 1-3-1, which Ardent know that they can't.
Yeah, that's right. If you look at the gold lead now between the AD carries, is pretty much even in gold. Just now before that Baron fight, Kaisa had a huge advantage, but at this point Aya Babe on this Corki is gonna put out a lot of damage as well. Does have the Nami as well with the Staff of Flowing Water, another new item. You would call it Staff of Flowing Water if you're British, and Staff of Flowing Water if you were American. But it's a new item that does provide a lot of ability haste, which synergizes well with Corki because it allows him to recharge more of those missiles faster and then more of that poke damage. But Lord Ipsum are setting up a death push right now. There are no wards in this one, and Rob's gonna catch out there. Now we're gonna use the tidal wave once again to disengage, but there's a Fiora on her face, forced to use that flash and that heal just to get away.
So Lorem wants to open up Baron, which is why they set in that death push, but
Some more death push action happening right here. Ja has had to face check so many of these in her lifetime this current match, and every time walks away with about half of her health taken out. So again,
and it
Lorem...
speaks a lot about their team composition, right? For Lorem, they can't catch someone. Right? They try
Yeah.
and chunk them down. They try and catch up there. They even try to jump on Nami, but they can't because they don't have the tools for that. This is not their team composition. This is actually what we want Ardent to do. We want Ardent to be able to catch people out with this wombo combo, but they haven't really been doing that. So I'm quite puzzled at what both teams are trying to do.
Yeah, I think right now it's working out for Lorem at the very least. They've got this Fiora split pushing the bot lane. You can see the health bar on Rinoa there looking very slim. And the turret already just going down to those cannon minions. And another flash being blown defensively there from the side of Ardent.
Yeah, with that pressure on bot side of the map, Lorem gonna start up Baron, but they have to be careful. Corki does have a really big package right there.
Ah yes, the really big package of Corki, that's right. Twisted Fate Ultimate was used as well to scout that one out. I'm sure Lorem have to be careful of that big package right there. Back in...
Yes, I shall refrain from saying such things.
Yeah, I believe back in the previous Wild Rift Open, we did see a play where a Corki and a Garen with the package
Yeah, that was
fought a Baron
beautiful.
and stole the Baron, got themselves a bunch of kills as well, managed to end the game. So Corki with the package, definitely a force to be reckoned with. We're not gonna say big package anymore, just package, but still Lorem have control over the river once again, always forcing Ardent to face check into them.
Yeah, I wrote about that highlight play, and it really reminds us, right, that in this status where, yes, Lauren may be up in gold, but this Corki, realistically, if everyone on the map is equal and they go out on full 5v5, Corki really has the ability to carry the team as a champion, with the items even. So if you thought that he was a menace in the previous patch, right now we're on 2.4 with all this Solari Charge Blade and Essence Reaver, he's gonna hurt even more. So Aya, babe, it's really on you right now.
Yeah, the other dragon is up as well. You can see that Lorem, they were hanging around in that tribush trying to set up a little trap of their own, but right now it looks like Ardent actually, just with no response at all to this other dragon tick, Lorem have gotten that one with all 4 dragons, and Ardent did not move towards the Baron or anything. They're gonna get spawned out by Twisted Fate ultimate as well. Rengar popping his ultimate to try to chase anyone down. Twisted Fate coming in with that Destiny. Magalio trying best zone, but just not tanky enough to stopwatch being forced there. Camille gonna try to jump onto the Kai'Sa. Galio gonna fall. Let's see what Corki can do. Corki is able to take out that Fiora right now, kiting back with the Valkyrie as well. That's gonna be 2 down. The Rengar, it's just walking straight onto that Valk, and Corki, Iron Babe trying her very best there. Twisted Fate able to take that Renekton out, and Kai'Sa finding that kill on the Camille there. The bot lane from Ardent staying alive, but the rest of their team not being so lucky.
Oh, that was so close. That was so close. It was almost a Corki pentakill. But Aya Babe fell a bit too low. I think they just decided to peel back, and Nami there, Azira doing a really good job helping her teammate out, helping out her massive AD carry right here.
Yes.
But we want to see that more, right? It is possible for Corki to do this again in the next team fight and get a pentakill and carry the team.
Yeah, definitely. I think Kodomo did a very good job as well on the Brom. She blocked out a lot of the damage from the Corki. Really helped out her squishies as well, especially when they were kiting. I think Rengar fell because Rengar went too far forward and walked past the Brom. It's stand behind Brom, not stand in front of Brom. So when you stand in front of Brom, you just get deleted by the Corki. But
hey, if you play Rengar, you don't really want to stand behind anything, right?
Fair
Rengar
enough.
Players only move forward.
Fair enough. Fair enough, but unfortunately not enough damage to delete that Corki on the Rengar right now. 2, 2, and 5 with 3 items. They're building a Charge Blade as well. Unfortunately not really enough to one-shot that Corki there with the Valkyrie as well as the Quicksilver Dash, but Rengar popping the ultimate again. Oh dear, Camille getting caught out for sure and just going down. Iron Babe does have the package, but it's forced to use it defensively once again. Galio going in. Corki coming out.
Oh, that was so unfortunate. That package could have been an offensive play, but Ardent just being forced out, and okay. Looks like they have to give up this Baron. They have to give up yet another objective. I don't know, Ardent.
Yeah, I don't know.
First
right
game
now,
of the day, baby.
yeah, things really not looking good for Ardent at this point, because unlike the previous Baron where only 2 members of Lorem actually got it in the end, now all 5 members have it. That really allows them to play their 1-3-1 to their advantage. As you can see there, Twisted Fate picking up 2 of those turrets in the top lane, mid lane turret falling in as well. Lorem are going to start to walk these minions in to the Nexus, and of course Fiora is pushing that bot lane as well.
GA completed here on Corki, so Aya Babe can be a little bit more aggressive if she wanted to. And they have to start taking these risks, right, for Ardent. If not, they're just gonna get withered down.
Minions coming in on the bot side there. Already losing about 700 of that. Turns out, what was that damage right there? Onto the turret from the gold card. My goodness. Gold card Lich Bane rapid fire cannon just taking about 1000 health off that turret. Now really Ardent are on their last feet. They need to do something now. They need to find their way forward. This Nexus is open. They have no turrets left. Baron empowered super minions are gonna start marching their way forward. How can Ardent respond? Rengar gonna jump forward right now. Keep your eyes on him. He's gonna try to delete someone. Flashes away. Twisted Fate has arrived as well. The first person to go down in the Guardian Angel will be Renekton, and Galio is gonna actually lose his life right now. The Guardian Angel in the middle of the enemy team. That Camille, where is the Corki? Unfortunately, not enough damage at all from that Corki in that last fight. And that's going to be Lorem Ipsum picking up game 1 in this BO3 series.
Yeah, congratulations to Laura. They played out their team composition well. They recognized that they could do the 1v1. They got their Fiora going. And even though the scoreline doesn't say much, if you look at it, Fiora 0 and 3, but she had a lot of cross-map pressure, right? We have to point that out. And she was definitely an integral part of this victory.
Absolutely. Just able to constantly drop Rinoa down to like 100 health. I don't know how many times we saw the Fiora, like we move over to wherever the Fiora and Renekton are, and we're like, oh look, the Renekton's health bar is super low right now. I wonder why. Fiora there with actually the most goal on her team, just constantly pushing in that side lane. Really helping out in that 1-3-1 composition.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get to see Aya Babe shine. Arden was not really sure of how to play out this team composition, even though they put together quite a good one where you have a lot of one more combo. You also have peel for Corgi.
Yeah.
But that's it. Lorem Ipsum did a great job. Minaka as well. Want to point out, this TF, looking at a TF walking up to the enemy team with a card and not getting punished, I think that was quite an interesting sight to see. I thought
Yeah.
Ardent could have stepped on it and really punished Minaka for walking up that much more. But nonetheless, it looks like Lorem knew what they were doing. They were very clear about their game plan, and they secured, I think, almost every single objective, right? Every dragon
Every
and baron.
single
Yeah,
objective
except
actually.
that Rift Herald in the early game
Yeah.
where they traded. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Wow. Congratulations to Lorem. They've picked up the first game, but of course it's not over. It is a best of 3 series. So now the question really it comes back down to Ardent. What are you gonna do to the ball is really in your court right now. What are you gonna do to not get dropped in the next game? If you take the next game, you can bring it on to a game 3 versus your opponents. But if you falter again, then it's game over for you. And because this is a single elimination, there is zero chance of any comeback from the lower bracket. If you're out, you are out. So Ardent, you guys, it's time for you guys to really make the first move, do something to get yourselves the next game.
Yeah, because it is match point for Lorem if they win this one, but Ardent still have a chance to come back, maybe try and change up the team composition, maybe try and do something different. It seems like they drafted well, but it may not have suited their playstyle, right?
Yeah, absolutely agreed. Well, we're gonna be going for a short break now, but when we come back, we're gonna see game 2 of Ardent versus Lorem Ipsum. Stay tuned. Hello there, everyone, and welcome back to the FSL Wild Rift Open 3. We're here for game 2, Ardent versus Lorem Ipsum. Lorem Ipsum currently right now is 1 game up on Ardent. So really the question is, what can Ardent do to come back in game 2?
Yeah, they had a Warmer combo team composition with Camille, Galio, Nami, as well to peel for the Corgi. But they didn't really make it work. They seem to be on the back foot a lot of the time. And it's quite uncharacteristic of them because they did go 5-1 in the group stage, whereas Lorem, I believe, went 2-2.
No, it's the other way around.
Oh, Lorem went 5-1 and Ardent
Yes.
went 2-2. I got mixed up. But yeah, so I guess they are playing out to their scoreline right now, because Lorem seemed a lot more in control of the game. And hey, we have a Ziggs.
We have a Lucian as well. Things not looking too good right now. I mean, we talked just now in the intro about how strong Lucian and Ziggs are, and unfortunately, we look at which side those two picks are on.
It's on the side of Lorem.
Yeah.
And not to mention Ardent here sticking to that quirky Nami combo, which I think worked for them. And to set them up, now we have Jarvan. So Jarvan locking down the opponents in his ultimate, combined with Nami and for Corki to really peel, I think that could definitely work. Ari as well coming in here. So I guess instead of a wombo combo team comp like what we saw from the last game, here they have a bit more options, right? They have a little bit more flexibility. They can use Ari and Javan to single out a single target and burst it down, but at the same time, they do have some AoEs for that team fight.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the side of Lorem, as you mentioned, oh my goodness, can you imagine seeing Lucian and Ziggs on the same team? I cannot, but here we are.
Yeah, we do have to mention that Ardent did lose one ban because they came in late from the lobbies. So I almost feel like, if Ardent had a third ban there, they would ban out either one, so that hey, at least they wouldn't have to deal with both. But
That's true.
really prioritizing the Nami and Corki over picking up the Ziggs, mm, that's pretty interesting. But regardless, I feel like things are better right now for Ardent compared to game one, because actually in game one we noticed they really had a lack of damage. Other than Corki, no one did like more than like 10,000 damage on their side. But now they've got the Fiora, they've got the Ari that can kind of cover and spread their damage out a little more.
Yeah, we see the Baron laners just switch up those champions instead of Redacted and Fiora. They swapped around, so we're gonna have to see whether it works out for the side of Ardent this time. And Lorem again with that invade.
Yeah, they're just standing around in that bush, something they like to do a lot. They're gonna place down that ward. There are 3 members right now in the middle lane. They can send Rinoa there as well, just to help to shove this first wave out.
No shenanigans at level 1 this time around. No trading of blows. I think it's good if you're on the side of Ardent. You are kind of looking to win the second game right here. And yeah, after that first mid lane push, everyone is going to their standard lanes. But look there, Ziggs with the priority, just getting that blast cone. Wait, is it called? No, it's not called blast cone. It's
No,
the
it's the
vision cone.
Vision code.
The
Yeah.
vision cone.
Vision plant. Whatever you'd like to call it. I think it's a scrying plant. I think that's the correct name.
Yes, correct. Well, it does spot Javan out, so Lorem have full information of where he is. And again, another ward. You saw Braum, I think, who put it over
Yeah.
the wall at level 1. And they know exactly where Javan is. Whereas on the side of Ardent, they don't know where Camille is. So, first potential gank, probably higher chance on the side of Lorem.
Yeah, that's right. Both Scuttle Crabs are up, and now it looks like both junglers are gonna start to take it. Actually, I may not be telling you the truth right now because Camille is walking up into that bush there. It's not warded, I believe, but a bit of a late gang
A
there,
bit of a
kind of giving up that
stretch.
information. Meanwhile, Javan was able to pick up that Scuttle Crab and just poking her head around mid lane there. Nothing too much happening right now in the early game.
Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication as well for Laura. Renekton kind of went in a little bit too far. It scared the Fiora off. By the time that Camille wanted to jump in, she was way too far up near her tower. So that's it. Renekton will push in Fiora in this early levels, and bot lane seems like they're just happy to farm.
Yeah, that's right. Lucian Braum is pretty scary on an all-in because of the Braum's passive. You can, and the Lucian's passive as well, where he shoots 2 bullets after his spells. You can really stack that passive very quickly and land a stun. And if you do land a stun, and if you have culling, well, you can really do a lot of damage there in those one-on-one fights. So you should keep an eye out for those later. Meanwhile, level 5s are starting to appear across the board right now. I believe nearly everyone has that except the support, so gonna maybe see some ultimate enhanced gank soon.
And also interesting that Lorem put Ziggs in mid and Lucian at the Dragon lane, because if they have these 2 champions, they always had the option to flex, right? And I would think here, I mean, against Ahri, if you had a Lucian, you might have a lot more pressure on her, because if it's Ziggs versus, they're just gonna clear the wave. But if it's Lucian versus Ahri, and Lucian versus any mage, he actually does have that kill pressure, and he has the ability to keep their HP down.
That's true, but I also think that Ziggs Braum isn't really a great lane either. in terms
Well,
of
if you're just gonna
what.
end up farming, which you are doing
Fair
against a
enough.
Corki, you might as well. But
Fair
nonetheless,
enough.
here we are, level 6 already on the Jarvan, and so is Fiora.
Yep. Again, we see Ardent placing emphasis on the Rift Herald over the Dragon right now, and they're gonna pay for it with the life of Aya Babe. They're taking down First Blood onto the Lucian. Meanwhile, Ardent, the rest of their members are gonna be doing that Rift Herald, dropping it down to about 4,000. Doesn't look like there's gonna be any contest, but instead, Lorem are gonna trade that once again for the Dragon.
Yeah, this is like a replay of the last game where Lorem placed emphasis on the dragon and Ardent really wanted that first herald. But in return, Corki had to pay the price with his life and might again.
Oh, gonna face check this one. The hook shot though does not land, but it does force the package defensively. That could have been very scary there, but we can see the reply from Ardent in the top lane. Renekton gonna pop that Dominus to try to clear the wave out. They're gonna take down this turret for sure, and now Renekton might be in a spot of trouble. The Cataclysm, but didn't wait for that dice right there. If just waited a little bit longer, Renekton wouldn't have been able to dash out of that one, but now Skin's keeping herself alive.
Yeah, you're right. The mechanics there, not quite what he wanted to do, but that's alright. Ardent managed to trade and they are still not in the goal lead, but I would say they are much better positioned compared to where they were the last game. And as you can see here, they changed up the team composition. They do have something more going for them, and I guess that's why we see them pick priority on that Corki, right? We were wondering why they keep going for that Corki in the beginning of their draft. But you know, it's safe. You know, he just packaged out. He could absorb that 2v1 pressure.
Yeah, the thing is that we're seeing them. I feel like they're losing out on the trade. Ardent always, because the thing is that Lorem picked up the dragon, they picked up a kill, and they picked up a turret. Ardent only picked up the herald, which they then used to pick up that same turret that Lorem picked up anyway. Like, it doesn't make. It doesn't seem really like a worthwhile trade to me.
Oh yeah, if you think about long-term investment, of course the dragon did go to the side of Lorem, and the first death of Corki was probably unnecessary because you know, she knew that the rest of the team were committing to Herald. There was no reason for her to stay on the tower, but she did, and I guess that's a little bit why of the goal went a bit more to the side of Lorem. But nonetheless, really curious to see here as we enter the mid game how Ardent can respond or rather set up their own plays, right? Because they spent a lot of time in game 1 responding to what Lorem was doing. And Ardent here, now they have the tools, they have Jarvan for their engage, so maybe they might be a little bit more bold. Okay.
Yeah, that's bold.
That's
right there,
a little bit more bold, yeah.
Bring that Valkyrie forward. To
Valkyrie forward,
land a
not
single
Valkyrie back.
missile. Yeah.
Yes.
Onto
Step by step, yeah, step by step.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Well, things though, you do see that Lucian does have that one kill and has that Essence Reaver right now. And, Lucian being that S tier AD carry with the Essence Reaver first item can be very, very strong. Of course, Corki is another one of those S tier AD carries as well. So later we can really see, we can compare the damage output, but for now, Ardent are sending 3 members to top lane to kind of relieve a little bit of pressure off Rinoa.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are just happy to fuck up. They do have their one item power spike on the side of all those who prefer the Triforce. So Corki, Camille, as well as Fiora, they're sitting pretty happy on that. And for now, I don't know, like both teams don't really seem to have a plan. Maybe they're just trying to eye the next dragon, in which Lorem is resetting for. So we know that they do love their dragons, they do want to set it up, pings are already going down. And what we want to see is how Ardent is going to use their ultimates here. Jarvan already has that GA, the Guardian Angel, so he can be a bit more aggressive, can go in and can set up for the team.
Yeah, the dragon is spawning right now, and you're right, Ardent are the first ones here for now, but Corki just taking that package signals to Lorem that he's not actually here yet. They have some time to continue to shove out that mid lane, but Corki with the package of course has to be respected for sure.
If Lorem wants to get that priority here in mid, and that's it. They do make the right move. They push in mid wave. They try to scat out the wards here in Dragon, denying Ardent the prior vision that they set down. So now Ardent has to push out their own wave and get vision down again. Otherwise, they are not in position to take this dragon.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are just gonna walk away from the dragon for now. Lorem picking to continue to pressure down that mid lane. I think they're really just waiting out this package because it only lasts for like
They
1
can't
minute.
recall though. Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah, that's it. Waited out, done.
But they can't recall. Like nobody is recalling on the map. You see right here, everyone has been posturing for the past 1 minute. No one really stepping on the pedal.
Yeah.
Just
I think
hovering
that's-
in bushes, really.
Yeah, but now you can see that Lorem has started up this dragon because now they know that the package is not up. They see the Fiora and the Goblin as well, who's going up against that Renekton right now. The ultimate from the Fiora coming out, the Ignite as well. A lot of damage on the Noxkins, but again, surviving there with a sliver of health. The Brom, there's actually a member of Art in there trying to steal Jarvan. It was not successful, but now Camille's gonna try to take him out. Ari dashing over the wall as well, further into the territory of Lorem Ipsum, and that might be a huge mistake. Ardent lose the dragon, and they lose 2 members as well.
Yeah, that was not what you wanted on the side of Ardent. I think it was a good move for Fiora to pressure the Renekton, seeing that Lorem started out the dragon. But giving your lives over like that is just extra gold, you know. You give them extra pocket money for Lorem to get that one item ahead of you. I don't know why Java needed to steal that. They really could have set it up a lot better. They could have decided as a team how they wanted to layer these crowd controls and really catch out one target on the side of Lorem. Of course, if you think about it, Lucian is very elusive, so not the target you want. If you could land a charm or a bubble, or use Java's Cataclysm to catch out Ziggs, that might be more useful. But again, we see Ardent struggle with the same things that they did in game 1. Like, how are they going to initiate, even though they draft an engaged team composition?
Yeah, that's pretty strange. Renekton using the portable, landing a lot of damage onto the Fiora, who's in turn forced the Flash, gonna survive that Ignite. And yeah, these two top laners is going at it again and again. This time they took Ignite instead of Barrier, but still unable to find the extra damage required to finish off their opponents, you know.
It really sounds like a round 2 fight, and then
Yeah.
no one goes for Barrier anymore. They're like, alright, I'm just gonna go for Ignite this game too, and both of them are just trying to one up each other. You know, it really feels like that.
Yeah. But unfortunately, though, nothing really coming off it. Always
but
surviving.
nothing happens.
Yeah. Always just neck and neck, trading those ultimates. But yeah, the Baron is up right now, and Lorem have the entire area, including the top side of their enemy's jungle, warded up. So that really allows for them to perhaps set up a death bush, like you did see them try a lot of in the previous game.
Yeah, the difference here for Lorem is that previously they used TF to zone people out, try to catch people with that gold card. Of course, he's not the best initiator, so in this team composition, they have Camille. So instead of just disengaging or trying to find a target at the death bush, they really do have a hard-on engage here from Camille. She can go in with that hook shot and follow up, Renekton stun, Brom as well with that slows and potential stun coming out. I think they're in a much better spot as well. So if they want to set up for an objective, they want to camp in the death bush, they have the tools. And knowing Lorem, they are so into these objectives, right? They're quite good at setting it up. They know when to scan out the wards, when to place them down. And Baron is alive, so we see them push out the waves and try and open up the map.
Yeah, they're just going to continue opening up the map, although there's an engage right now onto this Renekton. He's a pretty beefy boy, though. Is he beefy enough? Unfortunately, no. Ardent are going to be able to find that kill, but the Corki is trapped in the Hextech ultimatum. They're forced to flash away the Brom with the Glacial Fissure as well afterwards. Little odd there, but yeah, Ardent are going to lose their top laner, when when you can't 1v1, can't win that, you just bring your entire team, you know?
But pigs going down from the side of Ardent, they did send Fiora to the top side of the map, which means it is another free dragon from Lorem? Really?
Yeah, looks like it's just gonna be given up without much of a contest. Jarvan is kind of passing down, but looks a little apprehensive about it. Might be a little too late to the party there. Though the re-engage might come out. The charm goes wide. The teleport in from the Fiora, I believe, as well. And yeah.
Yeah,
That was
Ardent.
unfortunate.
Oh, really, really unfortunate. Oh.
Yeah, oh, Fiora getting caught out there with the Hextech Ultimatum, gonna be stuck in that Baron pit. There is no escape, or is there? Rinoa, ooh, dodging out the bomb as well. Beautiful stuff. The charm is gonna land and chunk out that Ziggs as well. Ardent finding themselves in very awkward situations and just really able to get out, just barely, but still losing map pressure over that.
Yes, they did give up that third Ocean Dragon. The best thing they could have done there was really to punish. A steal would be out of the question because they were not in position. But they did poke their heads right towards the end of it. They tried to find someone. They tried to punish Lorem, but nothing. You have Braum, you have also Lucian casting that ultimate just to zone Ardent out. And they were worried, right? You could see that they were positioned and they were worried that Lorem would just transit into Baron. So they also tried to poke their heads. But again, Ardent, they have the tools. Why are they not using them?
Yeah, actually, if you looked at the map just now, I think Jarvan hesitated about 3 to 4 times, just turning around and walking back before continuing to walk to the dragon. And if she just made a beeline straight for it, would have reached in time for a possible steal or maybe even picking off a person or two. I mean, Corki did attack as well. Well, we're back in the top lane again for a round. I don't even know how many, but this side it looks like Renekton might actually be able to find the kill. The counter Meek is gonna miss, but the Dominus is gonna continue to suck that life out of the Fiora. And finally, this is the anime arc finishing. The fight has ended after like 2 games worth, you know. It takes like 3 like flashbacks and like characters talking about their moves. And finally,
Bankai.
Absolutely. Lorem has started up this brand. Is it gonna go down to Ardent? No, it's gonna be Lucian who secures this one. The Ardent are in that awkward spot once again. Corki trying to put down some damage, but it's across that wall, and Jarvan is just gonna be left for dead. Ari, oh no, through the Orb of Deception backwards. That is a big oopsie right there. But Aya with the Nami is gonna start to go forward. Does not have a lot of mana right now, but has that flash straight onto that Lucian. Gonna put that damage down, and once again says, hey, we're not gonna let this go for free, but Renekton has started to push up that lane as well. Who's the only one to stop is Fiora. This is the ultimate anime arc, I feel. Uses the protocol to try to get out of this one here. But what are we looking at? We're trying to find our way onto that Renekton who's in this hard place right now. And this is when, you know, you win when you lose the 1v1, but again, you bring your friends along. And Aya Babe is here to help out her family. Yeah, her family, that's right. Just like Fast and Furious. Ardent has family and they take that Renekton down, but still losing out on that inhibitor turret.
Yes, so many things happen there. Across the map, we see so many swings, and I think the Baron laners, your Renekton and Fiora is really a skill matchup. Yes, Fiora, we are in the late game. She has, 2 items already, Blade of Rain King, as well as that Triforce. So she has that power spike, and Renekton generally towards the end of the game, we see him struggle against Fiora, but if she uses her skills not in the right order, or if you see that she reposes something, he can definitely go in, right? I think we couldn't see the full exchange there, but it looks like one of those things happened, and...
Exchange right here. Corki finding this meal out. She cannot attack on Titan her way out of this one. Has spot of this Nami as well. Oh, I wanted to mention actually, Fiora here had 2 items during that fight, but Renekton had 4 items. So,
yeah,
you know, that's pretty rough. But now the Elder Dragon has spawned. Camille did go down, so there's actually no smite on the side of Lorem, and that's why you can see Ardent here really pulling the trigger. on this one. Are we gonna go in? And that's a decisive cataclysm right there. They're gonna catch out that bomb. Mega Inferno Bomb dealing a decent amount of damage. But look at the Corki and Nami. They're stuck in the back. Nami's Tidal Wave is gonna go absolutely wide. They are trying their best to find something right now. Java going in with that Flagging Dragon. They've charmed up that Lucian. Lucian going down. That's gonna be Corki picking up one kill. The teleport, and that's the Renekton trying to do as much as he can. That's gonna be Corki going godlike, picking up 2 kills. Ziggs finding one in return onto the Jarvan. That's gonna be Fiora falling as well. Ardent maybe overcommitting a little on this one right now. They are forced to back away.
I like the words. Yeah, I like the words that you said. That was a decisive cataclysm. This is really what we wanted to see since game 1. And look at the fruits of their labor. Look at this Corki, 7-1. Babe has to be feeling really good about that. 4 items. We see here exact same items from game 1. No reason to buy anything else because we are on patch 2.4. But that's it, that's it. Ardent lost so much of their HP in that fight. Yes, they got the kill, but I don't think they have what it takes to take this objective. Unless...
Ziggs just gonna get blown up right there. Who's gonna get this Elder Dragon? It was taken by the Camille. Teleports are coming in as well. Ari trying her best to land as much damage as she can, but it's just going to fall right now. Lucian has returned to the fight, and this time Babe has no Nami. Can Lucian find all the time? The relentless pursuit finally to take that Corki down. You have to think at this point it's gonna be really, really hard for Ardent to win this right now. But Lorem Ipsum, they're just gonna be backing away for now.
Yeah, the momentum really swung to Lorem here. I think this is game. Okay? I think Ardent really tried. They took their last stand. They decisively went in with Jarvan finally after 2 games. And it was a really, really good effort. They did take down the right targets, but unfortunately they lost a lot of their HP and they lost position on the dragon. But I think Jarvan's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Again, Ardent here is on the back foot. We see Lorem stacking those dragons. The long-term investment is paying off. And Corki may be a late game champion, but Lucian on these items is still a menace. And Juliver here picked up all those kills. I think it's really a matter of time, right? Because Lorem is eyeing the Baron. They already pushed in top wave. They got mid wave pushed in as well. Might try to find a pick or just conservatively go back, purchase what they need to do. We see that Lucian just picked up that Guardian Angel, so a lot of options here for Lorem.
Also, I wanted to point out that during that previous Elder Dragon fight, 3 members of Lorem changed their enchantment to teleport so they could teleport back in, and that's really how they won their fight, you know. Lorem also have family. They heard us, and they also bring their family to Dragon so that they can take it back. And just when things start looking good for Ardent, full health Lucian and Braum and Renekton appear out of like nowhere, and they just clean up the fight.
We always talk about teleport and why we don't see it more often here, because if you play a lot of solo queue, that's not really the spell that people go for. But it's really nice to see more teleports.
Jarvan, can he find it? No, it's gonna be Camille who takes that bear right now. This might just be the last fight. Corki going golden in the middle of the enemy team. That's really not what you want to see. Corki goes down, and really at this point, this time I think it's really over for Ardent. They put up a valiant fight, but at this point Lorem are just gonna start cleaning house. Ari is gonna be going down to the Camille, flashing away, trying to keep it alive. Rinoa just taking so much damage from the Ziggs. Where did that health bar go? Just gets absolutely deleted right there. Lorem Ipsum taking the Baron, taking 3 members down. They're gonna be after that Nexus. They're gonna move forward to the quarterfinals of the FSL while they've opened. What an exciting first series, what an exciting second game. But Lorem Ipsum are the ones who emerge on top 2-0.
Congratulations to Lorem. That was well played. When we saw them in game 1 and here in game 2, they were a lot more decisive, compared to Ardent. And knowing how to play out your team composition, they showed 2 very different things. They went from a Twisted Fate mid to here we see a Ziggs mid. And we also saw the power of their solo laners there in the Baron lane, where it was a reverse matchup. It was the anime arc between Renekton and Fiora, and then the opposite of that. And calling family down. It was so exciting to run.
What an absolute banger of a match. And of course, now Lorem Ipsum have moved forward to the quarterfinals. We do want to point out that in the group stages, they were in the same group as the Dr. Hellcats, who won the previous FSL, I believe, and was in the finals of the very first FSL. So definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they went 2-0 against them. So Lorem Ipsum, perhaps a new challenger rising to
Mm-hmm.
perhaps take the championship away from either Next Play or the Hellcats. So I'm gonna be very excited to see them fighting once again in the future. But hey, Lorem Ipsum, look at the damage on that Ziggs right there, 30,000. Of course, on the other side there, Ardent have Aya Babe, who's really trying her very best. 37,000 damage on that Corki. They're really doing the work to try to carry her team, but unfortunately, just not enough.
Absolutely. Props to Aya Babe. Uh, of course, not to say the least, laws on this Camille. We always talk about how Laura Ibsen tends to prioritize these dragons, and she has been on point with those smites. Even though Arden walked up,
Yeah,
even though Arden tried to take it away, but Laws has secured every single one of them. So props to her. And great job, just I think overall the team just had a lot more coordination and communication. They were very more decisive on the map compared to Arden. So it's a victory well earned.
definitely a victory well earned for them. We're gonna be moving in for a break soon. When we come back, it's gonna be another match from the round of 16. You do not want to miss it, guys. These matches are so exciting. I'm so excited to see what else the teams bring out. We're gonna be seeing you guys soon. Don't go anywhere.